Hi.
Welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana.
And Money.
So, I have a bit of a dilemma.
Talk to me, friend.
It's not that big of a deal, but for context, I did my masters in another country.
What?
You're actually an idiot. This was 4 years ago?
Yeah, I can't believe it,
in the
actually.
freaking peak of the pandemic. And I met a really great friend who I was studying with there.
Called?
So her name was Margaret. Really lovely. She was younger than me. And she was seeing this guy.
They were having call him. Is it important to the story?
Well, the guy was based in Zimbabwe or somewhere in East Africa.
And
so
we're gonna call him
Dejon.
Okay. That was real quick.
Not the mustards. And just as we were finishing, she said that he had proposed and they were going to get married soon. So I was like,
congratulations,
congrats, it's
Matilda
amazing.
Dejon.
Yeah, his name is Margaret.
Margaret Dejon, yes.
Yeah. And so, yeah, all good. I spoke to her briefly after we finished and then didn't hear back from her, a response from her for I'm going to say about a year. Then she messaged me and I didn't bother responding.
Oh.
I was really busy and I just remember thinking I'll come back to it, and I just never did. Then over the weekend she sent me a message. So this is now, mind you, this is now 2 years on. A message going the wedding is on.
Yes.
They're getting married in a couple months' time.
Yes.
In the country that we studied, in Holland.
Yes.
And inviting me to come.
Yeah.
And saying that, I can also bring my family, because one of the other things was my family, when they came over for my graduation, we actually went to her house and her family was so lovely and just so open. It was really, really nice. My big question is, do I go to this wedding that for someone I haven't spoken to in, let's just say, 3 years?
Yes.
I should go to the wedding.
Yeah, I feel like weddings are opportunities for you to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it is true. It's true.
Unless it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to go.
To go to Holland, no, it wouldn't. It's literally.
Are you going to be expected to get them a gift?
Crap.
Is that going to be? You're going to have an outfit, do your hair.
No, the good thing is,
you might meet a nice boy there. I think you should go.
Yeah.
You might meet the love of your life.
Who knows? I mean, that would be so sweet.
Exactly.
But long distance, I can't do.
Who said that they're long distance? They might have also flown in for the wedding.
Yeah, that's true.
His name is Herbert.
Yeah.
For the wedding. And you were the only two people who both live in London. Margaret's been very nice and seated you next to each other at the table.
Sweet. I mean, perfectly honest, but the thing that
He loves jazz.
I I like jazz too.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I do.
Of course you do.
I do like jazz, but I've never gone to a wedding by myself because I can't imagine one of my family members would actually come. But
that's why she's going to sit you next to Herbert.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
Maybe you drop her a line and say, I'm going to come, put me next to your most eligible friend.
I won't do that. Again, remember that she's also younger than me, so her eligible friend...
You don't know.
Anyway.
She was friends with you.
True, but I look young.
As hell. Huh?
I look young.
How much younger than you is she?
She was... I think she was 8 years younger.
Oh.
Yeah, she was much younger.
She's 22.
No, she was 22 then.
Oh,
so she was 25, 26.
So she's not 8 years younger than you.
Shoot, I can't count.
How? Yeah.
Wait, sorry. Let's do the maths. Let's do the mathematics. When I was 29, she was probably 22. Because she had just finished.
She's 7 years younger than you.
I mean, that's not even bad.
No, it's not actually.
So no, it's not. You know what? It's not even I don't want to go. It's just the fact that I have had so limited contact with her in these years, and it's really sweet that she did extend the invite for the wedding, but also for me to go to this wedding, potentially by myself. Which I look perfectly honest. I've done so many things by myself. It's not a problem. I think my dilemma was, if you've not spoken for someone for so long, is it worth going?
Yeah, because you know her. You know,
yeah,
when you met her,
and I met the guy as well, and
you've met him,
yeah.
And you can
actually,
celebrate.
I think maybe it was on a face call because he wasn't actually in Holland at that time.
So yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. I will, because I need to just plan.
Gotta do it for the plot at least.
But that was the other thing. I was like, I'm not here for the girlies that do a lot of stuff for the plot because
you don't do anything for the plot. What do you do for the plot?
I do the girlies that do it for the plot.
And I said you don't do anything for the plot. So you're allowed one thing to do for the plot.
No, but I just think sometimes when you do things for the plot, you end up in trouble.
What trouble do you think? At a wedding? What trouble are you going to get into at a wedding?
Perfectly honest, there's no trouble. But you know what? I haven't been to Holland in some time.
Actually. 2 days.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, okay. Thank you for that advice.
I'm really good at giving advice.
I will let you know if I do actually end up going because I need to plan. And the good thing about weddings, and also I don't take loads and loads and loads of photos of me for our weddings, and I don't post. Sorry, the most important thing is I don't post them, so I have a dress that I can wear.
That is the worst sentence I've ever heard.
Let's redo that. I don't post a lot of the dresses and outfits that I have from weddings, so that allows me to rewear quite a lot of outfits at weddings, and I'm not ashamed of it because we're being sustainable and environmentally friendly. Even if the dress that I wore for our very dear friend's girlie's wedding, I re-wore that to another. I re-wore that dress to 2 other weddings, one before and one after work.
Literally.
Yeah. And the dress I probably have, I wore it for one of Gully's weddings last year, and I might as well re-wear it. Probably be freaking freezing, but why not? So yeah, thank you for that advice. I will let you know if I do, and use it maybe as an opportunity to go back to Holland and see some other friends as well. Yeah.
This is turning into a real opportunity.
Yeah, because I haven't travelled in a while, so
When is the wedding?
November.
Wicked.
Yeah, that was it. Thank you for that. And I thought I wasn't going to go to any weddings this year. And look at that.
I think weddings are just a part of being in your 30s.
Yeah, my thoughts.
Yeah,
teas.
your thoughties.
Yeah, my thought. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Something. I think weddings have nice energy. Actually, they're
it
quite
does.
nice to be out.
It does. Yeah.
It's joyful.
It
Nice
is.
to be, all gathered for love as opposed to gathered for booty shaking.
But I
gathered
think,
for menace.
Yeah. No, it's true. It is very true. Well, you know what? We'll have a good time. I just
might
have to
even fall in love.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be gay.
I really.
I never caught the bouquet.
No.
Do you even try?
Nope.
I knew it.
Why? What's the problem with not trying to catch a bouquet?
Because I was like, if Shoshana was trying, she would have caught that bouquet.
Yeah, literally pushing people out of the way. Get out of my way. Yes, I've got it. No, I like the tradition. It's cute, but for me, it's not like I'm not chasing for a man.
I actually don't know if I like the tradition because
I'm actually kidding.
half of you guys in this place need to find God. That's what you need to find. You don't need to be just searching for us.
Can you imagine if I'm not throwing bouquet, I'm just throwing Bible verses.
There's some advice for you.
Tips. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I just need to plan. Actually, probably I want to plan. If it's too expensive, I will lay it to rest.
I think just don't be a coward about it. That's all I'm saying.
I don't take enough risks.
You don't take enough risks. No. And it's time for you to just live. Live like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a tomorrow, obviously.
There really is.
But, yeah, it's also the least risky risk.
Yeah, true. I know the bride and groom. I met her family.
Been to Holland before.
I lived in Holland, so it's not like...
yeah, it's literally... there's nothing risky about this, apart from...
To me, it's just more like... the awkwardness of not speaking to someone for so many years.
Anyway.
That is very true. That's why I question why's the point of me going.
So because she just at some point they're gonna go around the table, you're gonna say hi and bye.
But
maybe you'll see them on the dance floor.
That's true. But I used to go to a predominantly Ugandan church, and they used to do traditional weddings, which is really beautiful and it's all really lovely. But it got to the point where I was invited to a traditional wedding. One, everything's late, but I forgot. We got there pretty much we got there late. What we thought was late, an hour late. They didn't start for another 2 hours. So that was really fed up. Then we weren't invited to the white wedding, which is
And I wouldn't invite you either. Because why would you late?
No, because everyone... Look, it's
But
a
why
traditional...
was you late?
It's a traditional wedding. Everyone knows it's late, but like not 3 hours late. Like 1 to 2 hours late is like the norm. But this time I was really fed up because like, you know what? The traditional wedding is just there for people. It's just there for numbers. But the white wedding is like the official ceremony, and I really like the couple. But again, it's because of the church thing. You just open the invite, and I remember saying like, I don't want to go to someone's traditional wedding if I'm not invited to the white wedding. And it's ever since then, and I also left the church, so it's not like a big deal. I haven't been to a traditional wedding since, I haven't been to a traditional wedding since, and to me, there's just some things where I like to know when I go to someone's wedding that I know them well. I know them as a couple, and because it makes me feel a lot closer to them. Like when I went to, even an ex-colleague, he invited me to his wedding, and I was a bit like, oh, I don't know. But the good thing was like, there's so many other colleagues that were going to be there as well. And also, even though I didn't know his wife, that was the first time I met her. Like I really respected him, and he had talked so much about her. Like I felt like I knew her. So even when I met her, I was like, I feel like I've known you for so long. I don't know.
What did she say to that?
Well, she just said no, thank you, and it was. I mean, she was at her wedding. She was just excited. She was just happy. So to me, I don't know. I
don't like that.
No, it wasn't. No,
I don't like when people are like, I feel like I already know. You've never met me before.
No, I mean, it's more like.
Where do you know me from?
How am I supposed to break the ice with someone that I've never met, but like it's the first time I've even seen her?
Say congratulations.
I mean, I did say that too.
I know he is just the sweetest, kindest man, and I'm sure you two are gonna have just the best time.
I don't really like that either. Anywho, that was my dilemma. Should we move on to what we're going to talk about?
You're gonna ask me if I have a dilemma.
You never told me you had a dilemma before the pod?
You asked me though.
Okay, do you have a dilemma?
Not really.
Great, let's move on to what we were going to discuss today, which was...
Should we start with Love is Blind, because we already started talking about Love is Blind on a previous episode, and so we are finishing that conversation. We're closing the loop.
Love is Blind UK.
As I mentioned to Shoshana earlier in the week, I'm not just saying that Love is Blind UK suffers from this. I think every season of Love is Blind suffers from this, apart from the first season maybe, where the second half of the series just is not as entertaining as the first. Actually suddenly becomes something quite depressing.
Yeah.
Like, there's something about the pods that's like full of potential and you're just excited.
Isn't that what
watching people fall in, yeah, 100%. Watching people fall in love, and they meet each other for the first time and it just sparks, and then they go on the honeymoon and it's like, it's make or break, but you kind of know from the honeymoon, you kind of have a sense of who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. It's actually quite hard for the following episodes to remain juicy.
Yeah. Unless something big comes out.
Or unless it's like somebody is quite literally lying about how happy they are to get married to this person, and they're going to reveal the truth. Or they're going to see someone that they spoke to out in the pod.
Or you go and spend time with that person in your car till 3 a.m. and then say you didn't.
Or you meet the parents and they're like, I don't see this person for you. You're used to a certain type of a lifestyle, and they're flat broke. And so as we got to the weddings, I was like, yeah, this has kind of gone how I thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
And then we get to the weddings.
Yeah. And
there were some surprises.
Ooh, what was your biggest surprise?
Well, a lot of my predictions came true.
Yeah, it did.
I thought that... I didn't realise, I said that I didn't know if Stephen and Sabrina would get married.
I thought you said yes to the marriage.
I thought I said I wasn't sure. I thought that maybe I can't remember.
I think
said something about the child thing would come up again.
Yeah, maybe you said that, and I said that the distancing could be a hindrance.
Yes, yeah. So I think I said question mark.
Yeah.
And I said question mark for Demi as well.
Yeah, you did say that,
But I said that it would probably be a no for Tom and Maria.
Yeah.
And I said it would be a yes for Naya and Nicole by force.
Yeah.
If they had messed that up, I would have gone back in time to put those two together.
Yeah, that would have been very sad. Like after all the wahala, to come to the end of the altar and he said, nah, it's a no for me. I couldn't imagine it.
It just wasn't going to happen. No. I was a bit nervous just because I was so invested. I was like, this is where you guys will just do something messy, boots, and ruin the whole thing for me. But I think when they did the parents
visit,
when he met her parents and she met his mum and his sister, I was like, oh, this is done.
Yeah.
This is done now.
I think
because those felt like the only remaining things that could have had an impact on them.
Yeah.
Because they're so loved up.
Yeah, I agree, and I think I remember when Love is Blind Series 1, which is what a lot of people compare Love is Blind UK to. Lauren and Cameron, same thing. They were very locked in, and then they met the parents / Lauren's dad and Cameron meet. Cameron does that rap again. I find the idea of men singing or rapping, I crawl inside myself. Like it's
sincerely as well. Like,
yes,
it's one thing to be like
so
rapping as a joke, but like to be seriously like, oh yeah, I used to rap. I'm gonna spit some.
Oh my god. Anyway, so
spit.
Yeah,
buzz.
Honestly, like it makes me cringe. I think it makes him cringe when he sees it now, but
you have.
But even the only obstacle, those were the only kind of key obstacles. And then in the lead up, they were really trying to create doubt with like, oh, Lauren may be nervous about committing. She's not sure if Cameron is like serious. But I didn't believe that. I didn't buy it. I was like, they seem so in love. They seem so, like, even their lives in their apartment seem so normal.
Yeah.
And it just seems so natural. And I knew it was going to be a yes. So the Benaya and Nicole thing, it felt like they, again, as we said, they are as woo-woo as each other. Like, sometimes we may all need to be woo-woo girls because there's a level of delulu between the two of them that make their woo-woo. I need another word to go with it. Sensational new. Anyway, I mean that didn't work, but it just is. They're just really loved up, and you can just see how much they love being in their world together. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about this on the walk to work yesterday, as I do when I'm having my deep thoughts as I walk to work. But I was like, in order for this experiment to be successful, actually, and I think I was thinking of it following the reunion, which we'll get to, but like, in order for this experiment to be successful, you have to be delulu.
Oh, 100%.
And that delulu can take many different forms, right?
Yeah.
I think that, like, weirdly, Jasmine and Bobby don't seem delulu.
No.
But I think they were delulu enough to coming into the show thinking, I'm gonna meet the one.
Yeah.
I think you have to have that thing about having an open mind, an open heart. Like, you really have to be like, I'm ready to go on this journey, no matter where this journey takes me. And that means if it takes me to love, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
If it takes me to, it didn't work out, but I'm going full speed on this roller coaster.
But that's what I liked about not Nicole, Jasmine, is like, yes, she is delulu in believing that she can find her man, but she's also not going to put up with anything. Like, her standards were high, like, they really were.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but I still think that, like, it's the same delulu in the sense that, like, okay, yeah, obviously Nicole's journey was different to Jasmine's, because she could see through Sam, but Nicole can only have Benaya and this experience that she's having now because she has such an open heart, because she could have gone through that thing with Sam and said, take me off this show.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
I'm done.
True.
I don't want to meet anybody else. Benaya was probably crazy as well. I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
And she said, no, I'm willing to go through whatever rejection flop this encounter will be to say what I need to say that's on my heart to this man and hope he receives it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that any season has really made me think about that idea of being open to the show more than this one for some reason.
Really?
Maybe it's because like people like us,
you
right?
Heard the accent, you're like, I know that person.
Yeah.
I've seen someone like this person before.
And also because it's like it's our dating pool in that sense that like a friend of mine messaged me after seeing the first few episodes and was like, there's something about this I just can't buy. Like, in the American ones, I can buy that they fell in love really quickly because they're American, and that's what American people do. Yeah. We don't do stuff like that. Yeah. And I was like, you're right, that's such a good point. Like, we're not like that as a culture. No. We are never like, I'm in love.
No, we're slow burners.
Oh, I'm in love.
No.
I've met the love of my life.
No.
Like, we find people like that. So, like, oh, you're either that kind of person or you're not.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Like, we're subtle, we're banters, we will neg you until we've negged you so much and you're like, oh, wait, do I like them?
Does she hate me?
Yeah. Or this fine line between love and hate. You have this passive aggressiveness, so no one speaks openly. So it's not a culture that is, like, super
Yeah, we're not
open.
particularly emotional. So, like, that, like... I need to tell you something. Whenever I'm with you, I get
Huh?
That man is going to kill you. Yeah, that man is going to murder you.
Or it becomes a whole thing of like, well, he's too feminine, which is like really toxic to think in that way when someone expresses how they feel. But it's because we are just not used to even seeing that kind of portrayal on TV.
But I think that's what got Jasmine's back up about Sam, because that's what's got my back up about Sam, was that, like, I need to be loved. No one's ever loved me. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
You're doing way too much, and that is just like, that's what's making the alarm bells go.
Yeah.
But if you're a person who's a lot more open and like, someone who is that emotional, you are hearing positive things. You aren't hearing negative things.
Which is in the case of Nicole, because she's, as I described, a bit woo-woo. She has that like open naivety that like, perfectly honest, like, I'm surprised how she got through life. She's so naive.
She's honestly, I would love to interview her. I think she's so interesting. I bet she'd be so fun to interview. I bet you'd learn so much. Like, you just come out of it being so like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, because I think she must see, like, I think she sees the world in such a completely different way to me that, like, I think I could benefit to be a bit more Nicole. Not completely like Nicole.
No.
But, like, a bit more Nicole in these situations, because if you're not willing to go on the journey, then you never get to the destination.
Wow.
I didn't even mean to be like, but like, but it's, I really felt, and maybe it's because I just think that their story has ended so positively that I am just like, oh, there is sometimes you really do have to jump in.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. Like, I think,
and sometimes it's going to be the wrong guy, Sam, and sometimes it's going to be the right guy, but
yeah. I think it's one of those interesting things about dating and relationships. Like, there is a period where you kind of have to, I was going to say the word surrender, but you kind of have to, like, like you said, go all in and be vulnerable, which is not always the most easiest or feels the most natural. And I think that being in that experiment, and because everyone knew what they were signing up for, it's not like Love is Blind UK wasn't like the first country to do this format, which I think it was beneficial. You needed to see the examples from the other countries. Like, America is the perfect country to do Love is Blind. It made sense in that environment. I think because when it came to the UK, like, the contestants knew what they were going into. I think that there had to be that openness. So if Sam wasn't as toxic as he came across, you're right. Someone would have snapped him up and been like, oh, I love a guy who can be so open. But because everything he said sounded like it was rehearsed and scripted, like, it came across a bit disingenuous.
And actually, kind of weirdly, for being so exposing, still felt very surface level. Like, to say, like, no one's ever loved me before. Hold on a second. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have parents?
Yeah.
Your parents didn't love you? If he'd got just a little bit more under the surface of those things, he would have been fine. Yeah, we would have been like, what a wild statement. But, like, after he explained, he would have been like, oh, okay. But he couldn't, there's nothing from start to finish of the time that he was on this show that he was able to explain in a way that made you go, oh, okay.
I still don't know anything about Sam.
Nothing.
And I think again, going back to the fact that I loved Jasmine in the pods, she was a bit annoying towards the end and a bit forgettable at times. But I love that she kept on pulling him up on his nonsense. Like, anytime he would say, like, a big claim, like, she'd be like, oh, really? What happened? Or, she wants to find out more about him. And then the minute she realised, nah, there's nothing coming from this. There's nothing below the surface. That's when she was like, well, we'll just see how our lives, cross, how our paths will continue. Meaning, I will never see you again. Honestly,
all the best is what she
all
said,
the best.
basically.
I said, okay, I'm gonna bless and release this, which is something I saw on a TikTok from a dating coach, which I love that line because I think it's good. Sometimes you just need to bless the situation and release it and let it go.
So quickly running through the weddings.
Yeah, let's do it.
Stephen and Sabrina said I do.
Yeah.
And got hitched.
Yeah.
Jasmine and Bobby said I do and got hitched.
The body of a dancer.
They danced to it at the reception, which is so cute.
Sweet.
Like, honestly, it was really cute.
It was.
Nicole and Benaya said I do.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
Tom and Maria. Tom said I don't. He said your mum raised bombs, and then he left.
He did not say that, but because the thing is, he didn't actually say it to Maria about the whole idea.
He said in his vows, he said in his vows, the kind of woman he would want to be married to would be someone who was self-sufficient. And then, apparently said something to her mum when he spoke to her in the morning about, like, the way that she'd raised her children. So her issue is that, like, and to be fair, this was his implication from the very beginning, that the idea of being a stay-at-home mum or wanting your husband to go to pay for things does not appeal to him at all. He wants a worker wife. He wants his wife to work.
He believes in the modern portrayal of family. So, basically, he's a 50-50 husband.
Don't even call that a modern portrayal of that's not family to me.
No, it's not so ironic.
I'm a colleague in a business with you. We're business partners.
I was watching the latest episode of Pop the Balloon, and...
Yes, because as soon as I see it on my YouTube, I say...
Let's have a watch. This will be an hour by time I will get back to watch this.
Oh yeah, I will not be getting this hour back.
No, but I enjoy this. So there was a question where a woman did ask, "What is your views of the roles of
traditional roles
in the family?" And most of the men actually said, "Oh well, they believe in the traditional, like, makeup of a family where the man goes to work and is a breadwinner and the woman stays at home and looks after the kids and leads the nurturing roles of the family."
One of the guys says, does what they're good at, which is nurturing. You don't know.
No, you have no idea, fam.
A damn thing.
You have no idea. And then there was one guy who did say, I mean, when he spoke like a pastor. I don't know.
I don't know.
Michael Todd, that's how I was in his head. The way he was talking, I was like, he's a man of God. And he was like, I want a woman who's a woman of God, who believes in God. I was like, okay, yeah, all makes sense. But he did say, like, I believe in modernity, is that?
Yeah.
And that means, like, it depends on what each other's strengths are, and then that's how we support one another. So that may mean there may be a period of time where you're going to do law school and I'm doing more of the support in the house, and there's other times when, I may be more of the breadwinner and you're not. So I liked that answer, actually, because it felt like more realistic, if I'll be honest. But when he used the word modernity, that's why I kind of made the point about the modern portrayal of family, which I don't think is as modern, but I think is more accepted now.
What he's described does seem modern to me, in the, like,
not traditional.
We will adapt to whatever situations we're in.
Yeah.
Right? But ultimately, we're a team.
Yeah.
So we support each other.
Yeah.
There is not only one way to support me.
Yeah.
There are lots of ways that you can support me if you can't support me in a different way.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a guy in there who was like, I want to be with someone who, like, say something happens to me, like, she needs to have my back. And then there was another guy who was like, and then in response to that, I think the girl was like, well, I think, I don't really want to be with someone who's, like, still trying to figure out what their dream is. And then one of the guys popped his balloon. He was like, yeah, my ex, she did, when I was, like, trying to figure out my career, she did, like, in the end, she got tired of, like, support. I was like, yes, that is the problem. And that is why the question is valid, because if I don't want to hold your hand for the next 5-10 years while you figure out your dream, it's not a bad thing on me or a bad thing on you. It's just not that we're not a good match for each other, and vice versa. I'm not going to ask you to do that for me if I wouldn't do that for you.
True.
But also within reason, if you lost your job tomorrow, I'm not going to break up with you.
Yeah.
You didn't ask for that. Yeah. But if you turned around to me and said, guess what, Marnie? I had a dream.
Oh, God.
And I've decided I want to be a baker. So I've quit the job that I do that helps us pay our rent. And now I'm going to need you to pay all our rent so that I can focus on my dream of being a baker.
And that's when there will be a big problem.
And that's where there's a problem. Yeah. That also, I mean, I don't know, because America is a completely different place to here. I would love to know how often that happens to people, because that does not, like, I've never met any men.
Quit their job to go be a rapper, baker, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know any men. Like in my line of work, none of the men in my line of work were like, oh, one day I just decided to quit my finance job and come and work in TV. Like, maybe it happens all the time. I don't know. It feels like in America, it happens every day.
I think it does sound like that, but I think it's because it's perpetuated so much. Yeah. Because it usually is wild. It's like usually like a 50-year-old man going, I've quit my job to become a rapper. I'm like, fam, 30 years too late. At most. Listen, 40 years potentially too late.
I don't mind if you quit your job to become a rapper at 50.
Have money though.
Yeah.
I think...
I should not have to suffer as a consequence of that. So if you are doing it and you can still pay your bills and everybody in the house is happy and fed and loved,
fine.
Go, rap your shit.
But I don't think it happens as often, but I do think it happens more often than not because... I'm sorry, but I just contradicted myself. I don't think it happens like... I don't think it's like predominant. Like I don't think every single man is gonna quit their job or even every single girl. But I do think it happens maybe a little bit more often in the UK because the culture, there is such a culture of wealth, and there's also a massive disparity in the US as well, where you are encouraged to live the American lifestyle, the American dream of like making it rich, getting from rags to riches. So everyone really wants to be entrepreneurial. Like everyone from Pop the Balloon doesn't have one job. Like I'm a finance person, data analyst, and I also do YouTube on the side, this on the side, this on the side.
Not to be snobbish, but you're on Pop the Balloon. And they've paid to fly you out as well.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
So it's not given you are making money from your 7 different jobs. So it's like, what is going on in America that you have to do 7 jobs and you're still at the breadline?
Because everything's so expensive. I was talking to my brother about this because like, you find jobs in the UK, like the salaries will be like a certain amount. Then you go to the US, salaries are like double the amount. Everyone says like if you work in the US, you get paid more. You get paid more because everything costs more. Like you're taxed for everything. You tax when you go to a restaurant. You tax when you buy clothes. But the difference is when if you buy a t-shirt here, the tax is already added onto the price. Whereas in America, the tax is not added on, so you'll be at the cash point, which has happened to me. You're at the cash point thinking, oh, it's only $30. You get there, it's like $40, and you're like, huh? Oh, sorry, we've added the tax, the state tax.
Why don't they just put it on the price? Why can't they do that?
I have no idea. No, it's just part of the way things are. It was really crazy. Then you have to tip. The tipping culture. You have to give everyone healthy tips. Things are so expensive. You're taxed for the craziest things. So really and truly, the salaries don't stretch as far as people think. And money doesn't go as far either. And even like to get an apartment or get a home is like thousands and thousands of pounds per month if you're renting. Imagine you're buying. Yeah. What are you saying?
Depends where you live.
It does, yeah. Sorry, if you're living in the middle of nowhere, then cheap, or affordable. But I don't know. It's such a different lifestyle. It is, and I think that's why you find so many people are working multiple jobs and just barely making it, or you're working multiple jobs so you can live a lifestyle of like flashiness.
Yeah, for people who are also struggling. It's just, it's a completely... I would love to go there just to, like, see what it's like because you're right, every single person that comes out there, and even if you say you have one job, you can see people meeting that with, like, and that's all you do.
Honestly, I've seen them pop the balloon... Oh, now, we're using pop the balloon as a reference, but I've seen someone pop the balloon going, like, I really want you to be entrepreneurial. Like, you only have one job? You only have a 9 to 5? Is that
it? It pays me. I'm not broke like you.
Yeah, but I want my man to
be... It's like a hustle.
I want my man to be entrepreneurial. I want my man to have other businesses.
It's a hustle mentality where hustling is good.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I'm only hustling because I need this money. If I don't need this money, I'm not trying to start a second business. What do I need a second business for? I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired every damn day. I'm tired of the one job I have. Why on earth would I get a second job?
It's actually... Sorry. It's crazy to think about. You do a 9 to 5 or whatever time your main job is, then you have to go and do a second job in the evening.
You're making wigs in the evening, then on the weekend you're running a creche. And then when are you sleeping?
And then in America, of course, you barely have any holiday, annual leave. Yeah. So you only have like 5 days. Oh, just 5 days on annual leave this year. Excuse me? Oh, I only have 10 days. That's 2 weeks. For the whole year. Okay, yes, you have bank holiday. You have your public holidays, Labor Day.
Yeah, we've got public holidays as well.
But like, it's... To me, I was like, that was one of the reasons I said I can never work in America. Unless you're going to be giving me 25, 30 days holiday, I can never work in America. Because That's how people burn out. That's how people die.
I think they are just so you have to be built different now because
you do.
Yeah, if you told me by like today, you need to start a second business, I'll be like, my second business is me sleeping. I will set a camera up. I'll make a YouTube page. I'm not going to do any. I'm not going to edit these videos. It's going to be a live stream of me sleeping. How dare you tell me I have to start a second job? How absolutely dare you do that? I don't like it when my current jobs ask me to do work for an hour extra than I would usually do.
True.
Tomorrow I'm supposed to be working from home. My colleague was like, "Oh, we could come in." I was like, "Oh, we could, but are you going to pay me for that?" Yes, they are already technically paying me because this is my work hours. And I'm saying I don't want to come into the office.
The way that they've had to drag people to return to office after the pandemic, it's crazy.
And American people were probably working the whole time.
Yeah, true.
Working the whole time. I don't think they understand. There are people in the UK who were just sat at home for a year.
Furloughed.
No work.
Because if you're doing furlough, you weren't even allowed to work another job.
No.
That was
you had to be sat
in your house. But also the crazy thing, I've worked with so many American companies that it was always normal and natural to be having a call with someone as they're driving into work on the car. It's like
Zoom is off because they're brushing their teeth. It's first thing in the morning.
Yeah, so you're like, oh hey, hi, sorry, if you can hear me in the noise, I'm just driving to the office. Excuse me, it's like, and I know it's like, okay, it's 4 or 5 o'clock here, so it's about 9 o'clock there. But you are constantly on your phone. You're constantly working.
If you were on the tube doing Zoom calls, other people on the tube would.
They'll be looking at you like, excuse me?
It's just no decorum.
Which I'm also grateful that most of the tube lines at the moment, because they're going to change it, has no Wi-Fi, it has no data. So
I don't want to do work on the tube.
You don't want to.
The tube is so loud anyway. Well, you wouldn't be able, they would just be hearing the... You wouldn't even hear me anyway.
Track lines.
I would just be sat here on mute.
Yeah. I mean...
Whenever I see someone get their laptop out on the tube, I get so unreasonably annoyed because I'm like, that's not what this is for.
I know.
It's for us to put our headphones in as we prepare to get into the office, not start doing office stuff on the train on the way home.
I remember one of our old manager was saying, like the best way for you to prepare is like do some reading as you're coming into work. And I just looked at her going,
no.
When I'm coming into work, it's also like a similar thing with my commute home. It is my period to de-stress before I have to go and do other things. So when I commute in, it's my period to de-stress before I come into the office. When I leave the office, I need an hour to de-stress. The commute is the perfect time for me to de-stress before I have to get back to my life at home, whether that's cooking, whether that's being with people. So to tell me, just do some reading before you come into work, I said, get over it, fam. It's like I do all my emails before I come in so I know exactly what I'm starting with. I'm like, good for you, boo.
I have a colleague who's American and she will do Zooms to and from other meetings. Like, it's not worth it to me. It's nothing I care about that.
Oh my God.
I think I would really struggle to be with someone who had that kind of work ethic.
Yeah.
Because I just find it really, like, it's annoying.
Yeah. I mean, I think
because you don't have that energy when it comes to like having fun with your family or relaxing,
and that's the problem. That's when you know there's a disconnect because you prioritize work over.
But you're talking about hustle. It's your hobby is hustling.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because
your way to relax is hustling.
Yeah, because I remember go back to Pop the Balloon. They're like, oh, what's something fun
your
hobbies. To do? Your hobbies, and then the girl was like, oh, doing YouTube videos, doing this. I'm like, that's your side hustle.
That's work.
You're working. That's not a hobby.
Or you'll see them ask people like, what do you do in your spare time? And they're like, I work a lot, so I guess my hobbies is watching basketball. Yeah. It's like, that's not a hobby.
I know. And I think
that's just watching telly.
Yeah.
What do you do on purpose in your free time?
But I think also we're not really designed. You get to a stage of your life where you're not really encouraged to have like hobbies because it works so much time and you have family.
Yeah, because you're taught to just cut those things out to make space for work.
Yeah.
Like we were talking earlier about like growing up and like extracurriculars were not important in my household in to the same level that my schoolwork was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if this is going to get in the way of your schoolwork, it's going out the window. So obviously if you start doing that, then yes, You start working. You let anything else that you're doing. I mean, by that point, I don't even have any hobbies anymore. So there is work is the only thing I do. Then you're getting home after work, being like, "What do I've got this sort of like energy still, but like I don't know what to do with it.
Nowhere to channel it.
Should I just do more work?"
That's when you burn out.
Yeah, and then you're wondering why you're burnt out. It's because you don't do nothing but work. You don't do anything but work. You have no life.
You have no work-life balance.
Because we are all adults living busy lives. You can't even be like, "I'll just call up my friend and like we'll just go to."
Girl, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you in October.
See, so I mean, it is really hard. Like, I understand. Look, I wouldn't mind dating someone who had hustled before and seen the fruits of their labor now and are now resting, or like now at a slower pace, not slower pace in life, but like they are now working at a reasonable good pace so that they can maintain their lifestyle, but they are not hustling to get to that lifestyle. So that's fine. Like, if you hustled when you're 20s, good for you. But if you're in your 30s and you're still doing the same hustle, go chill.
I think you have to rest because life is too short.
Life is too short.
Before you know it, you're having a heart attack at 40.
Please.
Why?
It's really not that deep.
Over capitalism. These people, you don't understand, this is what they want you to do. They want to make you think the problem is yours to solve. If you have 3 jobs, then you won't be poor anymore. No, you still will be poor.
Yeah.
You still will be poor. That's the problem.
Also, we
can't all be rich. That's how it works.
Like, how on earth do you fit 3 jobs into a week? Unless you have like
some of
2
those
days
jobs during their other jobs. Or you're doing 3 jobs badly. You're not doing 3 jobs 100% perfectly.
Come on, let's be honest. I was listening to a podcast with the Receipts podcast, and they interviewed Grace Beverly, who is 26 and owns like 4 businesses, and like and these businesses are things like fitness wear and a supplement company. She just opened another business or co-founded another business, like an AI business for creators, and then a third one. What's the third one? I can't remember. Like a productivity planner thing. And it was really interesting when they were talking to her about it, because she started when she was like at uni, like 18. And she was saying, like, perfectly honest, I cannot run all 4 businesses by myself. Or not even by myself. I cannot run all 4 businesses because she would probably be dead. She was like, look, I've got to a place where the first 2 businesses are pretty much self-managed and she has a team behind it, so she can just give it to them. There's things that she wants to get even more hands off, but she can do that. The third business, she has venture capitalists funding, so she has to be heavily invested in that business. So she spends most of her time there. And the 4th business has just started, so she's more hands-on, but she has 2 other founders. So it was really interesting to see how she balanced the 4, but it's still a lot. Like, it's honestly where she's talking about it, like, this is a lot of stuff on her plate. Plus, she's also investing in other businesses. And I was like, look, you do you. Like, this is amazing. And her background, she has a very privileged background, and she will say the same thing. Public school, went to Oxford, just always surrounded by that type of industry, like not industry, but that type of environment of like success and entrepreneurship. So it was really interesting to hear that from a young person, but also know that you can't do it all. Because you're right, because if you try and do all, you won't be able to do it well.
Yeah.
And something will fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
So, and you have to prioritize, honestly. So.
And also, people don't want to admit this, but like, we're not all entrepreneurs.
No.
Like, some of you, your skills lie in a certain aspect of your business, not in every aspect of your business. And even like great entrepreneurs, they're not the ones making their products. Like, you need to figure out where you best fit into that thing.
Yeah.
And it might be smarter for you to have businesses that you co-run with other people who are good at certain parts of that thing, so that your business is successful, rather than like, I was talking to my sister about this, but I was like, I have no, like, if someone turned around to me tomorrow and said it's time for you to start marketing the shows that you work on, I'd be like, what business do I have doing that? I'm not I work in marketing. Yeah. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
My job is sales. My job is communication, sure. And my job is barely budgets. And I mean, it should be budgets, but I don't, like, it's someone else's job in there. My job is really project manage.
Yeah.
That is a big part of my job. If someone said tomorrow, now you are the one filming it, I would say I've got no business doing this.
I mean, I remember one of the toughest task that I had to do, because it wasn't my job, but the person who was supposed to do the job wasn't skilled enough. Is I had to run a shoot. I was like, I can do marketing, but I can't produce a shoot. Like this is outside of my wheelhouse. With a couple of people on the set, but I was like, I ended up having to be like, no, this person go here, this person go here, just direct this person. I'm like, this is not my thing. As a marketer, I just come in, you're taking the shots, I'm just looking at it, looking how the things are being filmed, give you some direction, and you continue going. But you're right, some people's skills of channels or best channels in certain areas. Some people's skills are best channels for a corporate environment or in a company. And, it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I don't think everyone needs to be on. We're so off topic, but
how the hell did we get on this topic?
Yeah. Don't think everyone needs to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, pop the balloon.
Yeah, the hustle,
hustling,
hustle mentality,
and
household.
Yeah. Sorry,
and this is us basically saying to Tom. This is our big long rant to Tom about why we think you should pay for everything in the marriage.
Yeah.
I'm not an entrepreneur, Tom. No, I'm not a hustler. No.
And what annoys me about the Tom and Maria thing, as I mentioned in our review, is that they had this conversation in the pods.
Yes.
And they wasted time. You knew from the pod, you knew that you were misaligned. You knew that one person wanted. This woman told you point blank, I want to be a stay-at-home wife. I believe in traditional values. And you said, yeah. Because she was sexy. I can tell by her voice that she has great hips that I can put my hands on. Like, just be for real.
He said, listen, baby, I'm here to meet a hot girl. It's
just so, like, honestly, I felt that him and Tash would have been more suited.
I think they would have had problems of, oh, she's not sexy enough to me.
Yeah, they would have had that.
I think Tash is really pretty. I think she's but I think she gives cute, perhaps. Yeah. And
cutesy.
He would have very, very demure, very mindful.
Cutesy. Yeah.
But I think he would have seen Maria and been like, I cannot marry you when I believe I could be getting someone like Maria.
Like, I connected with that girl in the pods. Like, because Maria, beaut.
And again, this goes back to what I was saying in the last episode. Men put women in categories sometimes, and you can't get out of it. Like, men will be complaining about friend zone, oh, girls friend zone them. You guys decide who's sexy and who's cute.
True.
And if you're in cute box, good luck to you. And if you're in sexy box, good luck to you. Because you will be getting bullshit either way. Yeah. You'll be getting bullshit either way. And I think that's what happened between the two of them. I don't think either one of them would have been a good fit for him.
No.
Because he's looking for some woman who loves to work, who is also sexy, but who is also going to be culturally more similar to him. Like,
the girl's not on the show.
Yeah, she wasn't on the show. It wasn't going to work. So Tash, you dodged a bullet, if I'm being completely honest. He's not hot enough to be
and that was the other thing.
Messing with these girls anyway. Like, you really fumbled the bag. You did. Babe, you really did.
Who else?
Demi and Ollie.
Yeah.
Demi said, I don't.
I choose me.
In what I found to be the weirdest... Actually, no, Tom's was the weirdest because he said no and then, like, walked off and didn't even bother to, speak to her.
Yeah, but that's what usually happens when they say no.
I know, but everybody else did speak to their partners.
Yeah, that was odd.
Like, the energy was just felt very.
Yeah, it was a bit odd.
I don't know, oh, we have beef now.
Yeah.
So yes, Demi says I'm not saying no. I'm just saying not right now.
Yeah.
And then proceeds to leave. Yeah. And Ollie, I mean, it's a perfect thing she could have done for Ollie, because then he was like, oh, I was really ready for us to meet. I don't think he would have said yes.
I think he would have said yes, but actually, you know what? I don't think he would have.
I don't think he would have said yes because... So his dad does come to the wedding.
Yeah.
And honestly, the very weird interaction, I thought.
It can't be as weird as Clay and his father.
No, not as weird. That was seek help, seek therapy,
honestly.
ASAP. No, it was just weird. I just found the interaction kind of just, it didn't seem like two people preparing for an actual wedding so much as thank you for coming to this event that I've invited you to. So that's when I was like, I don't know. I feel like you've maybe just called your dad yesterday and told him that you're doing that, and that's why he's turned up. He like did his tie for him. Yeah, I don't know. Something felt like, is this even his dad? Or is this like an actor that he's hired?
No, so apparently Ollie did film with his parent, like with his family, but it was cut because they didn't have great audio issues. They had audio issues.
How convenient.
I know. Which is wild.
That's what I mean.
It's wild.
How convenient.
But a very good production company to do that.
Family section from everybody else has got some family came apart from his because of audio. I don't buy that.
Yeah,
but so yeah, that's them. And then Freddie and Catherine.
Yeah.
Freddie says, I don't actually. Yeah. Catherine
did Catherine say yes? Did she go first?
Oh, I thought he went first. No, because she said I would have said yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He says, I can't marry you.
I'll be honest, we weren't surprised.
Then does, everybody... You could argue what he did was kind of sweet. I found it just a bit irritating. I think weirdly I kind of, to some extent, must identify with Catherine because last week I was saying, like, that whole rejection cycle thing that she's on with Freddie, like pushing him away and being quite cruel to him. And then this week, people were like, when her dad comes up to her, she's like, I just want to be by myself. And then everyone in the comments was like, she's so ungrateful to her adopted parents. I was like, first of all, not one of you in this comment has ever been adopted, so you don't know what that feels like. Someone was like, I thought she was adopted as an 11-year-old. Turns out they had her from a baby, so why is she treating them like that? Again, you've never been adopted. Yeah. You do not know how that would make you feel.
It's a trigger of rejection, like, come on.
But equally, I feel like everyone sits down and watches TV and acts like they're not the most irrational person on the planet. When you're upset, you're telling me you don't know anyone who, when they're upset, wants to be by themselves. Leave me alone, actually. Yeah. I want to be by myself. It doesn't mean I hate my dad. It just means I'm so overwhelmed right now. You coming over and being like, it's okay, pet, is not going to make me feel better. I just want to be by myself. I can barely process this. Yeah. And so when she told her, because Freddie tries to come up to her then and she's like, no, not right, don't come near me, basically. Yeah. Says to the dad, I want to be by myself. And I was like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's hard because when you're on camera, you're kind of expected to be like, cutesy, we're going to be using this a lot, but really cutesy and happy all the time. And it's like, no. Yeah, she was showing actually a really real emotion at that time. And also because Kat has had, throughout the whole series, she has come across as emotional. Let's not even lie. From the pods crying to when they were out of the pods, her being miserable and annoyed at Freddie, and then now seeing her like get angry, or like she's not even angry. She just wants her space and she just wants some boundary at the moment. I think people were quick to jump on her, but what she was going through was very understandable. I don't have a problem with what she did.
I think Catherine's a brat.
Oh yeah, 100%. And
I actually support brats. Sorry, I do. I do support brats. Some people are brats. Doesn't make you a morally bad person. No. It just means that you're a bit emotionally immature.
Yeah, she is.
I don't think that warrants people saying that, she doesn't deserve this, she doesn't deserve that.
I think it's because everyone had their blinkers on Freddie. And because Freddie came across so kind and so soft, and Catherine was being annoying for a good chunk of the series.
Yeah, because she's a brat.
Yeah, she was. And kept on.
I thought it was Brat Summer.
Yeah,
I thought it was Brat Summer. You guys get up every morning talking about Brat Summer, but you actually hate a brat, really.
Yeah, true. But like, I think because everyone loved Freddie, and seeing how Catherine was nitpicking every single part of the relationship, it created some annoyance. So I made her an easy target even in that moment for people to talk about it. But I felt sorry for her. Like, it was embarrassing, and I wish. I feel, like you said. And like she said, that had she been given the opportunity, she would have said yes. And that would have been even worse. I'd say yes to him to be like, no. Because you also don't want to be that person where you say yes and then say no afterwards. Like, you say yes just because, and then just before everyone goes into reception, you're just like, it's a no, actually.
Can you not? Don't write that down. Like,
it's absolutely no. Without signing that paper, no.
Yeah. So that's the weddings.
That's the weddings.
We come to the reunion now.
I was going to say, I was more just going to say the Freddie's sister. She knew. She knows.
And I said, I think Freddie's sister is bad vibes. A little bit.
I'm sorry, sometimes you need to have a Freddie sister.
Okay.
I do. I mean,
if you guys say so.
Spoken as from a true sister.
But this is the same sister that's going to get his house when he dies. Connect the dots. Connect them. Of course, you don't want you to get married. That house is ours.
Oh, I forgot about that so much. No, but you know what? I think it's because, maybe we can talk about it with the reunion. When she saw the light come out of his eyes when she met her,
I think she was right, but Freddie was not happy. That's all well and good.
And as your sister, and as a sister or sibling, you care. Like, oh, I noticed that you brought this person saying I'm going to marry them, but you are miserable. So if this is just one visit, how's the rest of your life going to be?
But this is
regardless of if I get the house or not.
All well and good, but as we were talking about earlier, sometimes you will advise someone, and guess what? They will go and do whatever it is they're going to do.
Very true.
Now, there is weird energy because the girl you told me not to marry, I have married her.
Well,
I don't want you to treat my wife any type of way, so now me and you's relationship is... You're still pissed off at her like this was her fault. When really I made a decision. So you and her relationship is like...
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes. I'm not saying as a sibling you should not protect your sibling. Of course you should. Try to. But... Also, when it comes down to a marriage and potentially someone joining your family, if you open that thing with you being like, no, and he still marries that person, they become a part of your family, now the energy is rotten.
Yeah.
I honestly do not know how you best play those situations out, where it's like, my advice would be like, don't do this.
Yeah.
But if you are going to do this, I will support you.
I think that's the best way to preface it.
Yeah, maybe that's the only way to do it. Because I definitely... We've seen friends who's had issues with their partner's sibling having a problem with them.
True.
And knowing that, oh, well, what would it be like to marry into his family when you have beef for some reason over a situation that actually doesn't have anything to do with me and more to do with your sibling.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, that's one of those things, sibling or friend, you get to a point where you have to remember that it's not your life.
No.
As someone in your life, I care very much for you.
Of course. So
I will give advice if you ask for it, but ultimately it's your own decision. I think that's how we should be prefacing things. Like, I may give you an opinion, but an opinion is like an arsehole. Everyone has one, so you can sniff mine or not.
Oh. To your siblings, that's crazy. That is mad that you would say that. I can't. So the reunion. I'm not even gonna.
I didn't know that was where I was gonna go.
So the reunion. The reunion.
Yeah.
Unlike Mexico, which had a platform in the middle of the room where they made the couples walk up and stand, and if the light turned green they were still together, and if the light turned red they were not.
Diabolical.
We had, like, the American one also tries to delay the reveal of whether people are still together. This was very much like, based on how people are sitting, you can tell who's in a relationship, who's not in a relationship, and the gag of Rooney from the start of the episode was that Sabrina and Steven were done.
Yeah. I'm perfectly honest, they kind of ruined it in the trailer, because when you cut to Sabrina and Steven, you can tell they're not sitting together. And they should all the couples. So perfectly honest, you did not need to watch the reunion if you didn't have to.
No, you didn't need to watch the reunion.
You would have found out.
There was some information, but not hardly enough for you to be like, this was the juiciest, most interesting reunion to come back to. Honestly, I think so far of the Love is Blind reunion, I quite like the Mexico one. And I think last season of the US was a good one.
That one was really good.
This definitely I felt the awareness of, we don't want to get accused of bullying anyone or creating a toxic environment for anyone. Yeah. So we will not probe any further than we already have. Yeah. With Steven and Sabrina, basically Sabrina was like, Steven did not make an effort. Like, obviously, we were living in two separate cities. We were going to be long distance for a while. They'd both quit their jobs to come on the show. Sabrina's business, however, started taking off. Steven's didn't, and that became the death knell for this couple. she went to London, she said 4 times. He came to Belfast twice.
More. I think it was 6 times.
I think she went to London 6 times. He came to Belfast twice. He was supposed to come at Christmas and then just texted her day off saying he wasn't going to come. She had to buy an ironing board.
That damn ironing board.
She bought groceries for him. Basically, he did not pull his weight financially, and he wasn't pulling his weight emotionally. Yeah. And they got divorced. Stephen's response to this is, "You're lying.
Yeah.
You're not a woman of honour.
I don't recognise who this woman is in front of me."
But also couldn't say on his end why they broke up, other than it was a long distance thing. He said it's very easy to date when you're on the pods because producers are producing it for you. In which case, why did you come on a show?
I know, perfectly honest, advertising for his business.
You come on the show, which is about relationships, come off the show and said it's actually hard to date. But the problem isn't that you couldn't find someone. They found you someone. The problem was that you could not be asked to maintain it. Why marry her if you knew that was going to be...
Yeah.
Like, you knew she was from Belfast. That was not a secret.
Yeah.
At the point where you were going towards the chapel, you're going towards the wedding day, why are you sitting down and say, I'm going to be honest with you, I like you a lot, but I'm genuinely worried about this long distance thing, and I would rather we didn't get married and we just continue to date and see where we are in a year than let's get married and then once we're married I will say to you, I don't like this.
I really feel like there are not many couples that can do long distance post marriage, given that they were dating for such a short period of time. And when I say, and I mean dating, i.e. seeing each other. Because by the time they had the pods, that was like 10 days. Then they had the honeymoon and apartments, which was probably about 3 weeks.
The apartments, was 18 days.
18 days, yeah. So 18 days plus maybe less than a week for the honeymoon. Yeah. So you had less than a month to know each other. And once you realise, okay, we're not in the same city, it needs to be a very quick discussion about
how can we make that
as quickly as possible to continue to build that relationship. And I mean, I felt really sad to hear them because they were the first couple to get engaged. Usually that means that they're locked in for being locked in. Really, most couples that do get engaged first in Love Is Blind stay together. And it was sad to see that it was distance was the reason, not even things like children or some of the more bigger issues that they talked about. But actually, this is a big thing. And actually, what's actually come through, it wasn't distance; it was finances as well.
Finances and lack of effort.
And I keep on thinking of that story when Stephen was talking to her in episode 1 about the woman, his ex who was suffering from cancer, and.
That she broke up with him.
Yeah.
Because it was too much for her to be in a relationship with him and also going through treatment. I always wondered, like... Most people wouldn't do that.
No, I mean...
Because they need the support, which means she probably weren't supporting her.
Yeah.
And she was like, I might as well do it on my own.
Yeah. And, he
made it seem like she just loved him so much that she wanted to set him free, live your life.
There was something about it. It was a fishy story.
It was fishy because then Sabrina was like, because the way he told it, I was expecting it. She died.
Yeah.
Sabrina was like, how is she? She was like, I think she's alright, I don't know.
Yeah. It was
with someone for so long, they had a terminal illness. And I feel like you would just be bonded for life, even if we're not dating anymore.
Yeah.
Every so often I'm going to check in on you because I just don't ever want to, get a call one day where it's like, blah, blah, this happened.
Yeah.
Like, I would, If we dated and we actually liked each other.
That's very true.
I don't know. You had a massive crush on Stephen.
No, massive is a big stretch.
You were horny for Stephen.
No, that's an incorrect stretch. But I did say Stephen was attractive. He was second to Freddie.
Stand by my statement from last time, which is there's something off about him.
I mean, there is now.
No. I still think we haven't got to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I'm saying let's wait 5 years.
Then he'll finally come out. But to be honest, it seems like all the contestants' contracts ended with the reunion, so that they're all now going on the podcast. But I do think that this year, and for Love Is Blind UK, it was quite different to the US, where their contract seems to have ended, and now they can speak to different podcasters and different press outlets and talk more about behind the scenes with the show. Whereas in between the drops, like each week, I was not seeing any press from any of the contestants apart from like them going on their newly formed TikToks to try and do Q&As. So it's quite nice to kind of learn a bit more about behind the scenes now that they seem to be out of contract. But I think with Stephen, I've not seen him on any podcast
He
yet.
doesn't give me a podcasty type person.
No, he doesn't. I saw him on TikTok trying to do a dance. I was like,
well, that's your man.
God. And it was definitely a song that had rhythm to it. And I was like, no.
I think that if he's being quiet, it's because Sabrina's pretty much
annihilated him.
Telling the truth. Yeah, if someone was lying about me on the internet, you best believe I'd be on the internet being like, no, the fuck, that did not happen.
And then bring out the receipts. I just don't think he has the receipts.
No, because she said, you text me the day before to say you're not going to come at Christmas after my family had made an effort for you to come. And he said, yeah, I did do that. But we weren't in a good place. Yeah, but there's no receipts of us not being in a good place apparently, but there is receipts of you texting me the day before Christmas to say you're not going to come.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wish...
Which, honestly, stinks.
It does.
Because if money was an issue, you haven't paid for that flight, you're taking the flight.
True.
So that means he had not booked that flight.
And I think the deeper root of this issue is money. I just don't think he had any.
It's dark.
It is. But I mean, Sabrina...
But you've got money to go gym every day, innit?
That's his business. He's a CrossFitter. But I do think that Sabrina...
So how is doing CrossFit making you money? How does that make you money?
Part of it is you get a subscription of the people that are going to the gym. It's like a gym subscription.
But you do CrossFit.
Yeah.
You don't run. You didn't come up with CrossFit.
I thought he doesn't come up with CrossFit, but I thought he had a business where he had a CrossFit studio.
Right.
Where people can come and do CrossFitting. What's the verb for CrossFitting?
Isn't CrossFit just an exercise regime?
Yeah, maybe.
So like doing Pilates.
I haven't touched the gym in 4 years. I mean, apart from one blip.
Well, she fell into a gym by mistake.
No, I went to go and do a Pilates because of my sister who had a gym.
Actually, you went to a dance class. That was in a dance school.
That's not the gym. That's not the gym at all. Maybe. I mean, I did sweat, but it wasn't a gym. Maybe. But perfectly honest, it's really sad to see it. But Sabrina looks like she has done a glow up. She's got, she said that she had definitely taken some time to reflect. She went into therapy. She was unfortunately diagnosed with depression. So she's definitely had to get her life together. She's still in therapy now since the divorce. And I think for her, she just said it's embarrassing. It was like 86 days.
I think, for
a marriage.
Again, going back to what we were saying earlier, sometimes you take the jump and it doesn't go the way that you think it was going to go. And to her credit, the person that he presented to her in the pod reassured her that she'd made the right decision in jumping. You come off the show and, I think the tough thing about Love is Blind is that there are tests constantly. You think the test is going to be the honeymoon. You think the test is going to be living together. You think the test is going to be meeting family. You think the test is going to be getting married. You think the test is going to be coming out of the experiment. Like, you are being tested constantly. And I think until you're together for like a year and you feel solid, everything is a test. Yeah. And the real life hurdle was not one that they could pass. No. I'm sorry for her that she's in, it has led to her being depressed because what could she possibly have done to prevent that? It's not really got anything to do with her. I don't think you even had the issue was that you had a bad pick. No. Watching it at home, we were like, wow, they're really connecting. They're very similar lifestyles. Yes, we thought the kissing was going to be an issue. Then he came back and he said it's not an issue for me. Like, all of that stuff, you were rooting for them. Yeah. And so, I just think that Sabrina, girl, I don't think it had anything to do with you.
No, I don't. Look, she will meet her person, and maybe it's even through the show that she meets her person, and this is just, again, the butterfly effect of going head deep, knee deep, foot deep?
Head first.
Head deep. So going head first into this opportunity to fall in love. Yes, it didn't work out, but you are now open and you know what the roadblocks are to love. So I think if anything, it's a learning experience more than anything than a mistake. Okay, so unfortunately you did get divorced, but like you've learned from this. You know the red flags from if you ever saw someone like Stephen again, and you know, hopefully she can move on from this and she continues to get the help and support that she needs during this period. But you know, it was perfectly, it gave the most drama in the reunion, but it was also because it was the most sad and it was the most shocking as well.
Yeah, it was sad. It was sad, and I think that you could tell it was something that she was very emotional about. Stephen honestly did feel unrecognisable to the guy that we met in the pool.
Yeah, when he was saying, I couldn't recognise you, I couldn't recognise him.
Yeah,
I was just a bit scared of him.
Very cold. Yeah, he was very cold. But then we cut over to Demi and Ollie, who are not together. To be fair, they did not get married, so expectations were low. Yeah, it's very rare that people don't get married and then they come to reunion a year later and they're still dating.
Yeah, even though she said not right now. Yeah, I didn't really feel like
she gets on the couch and you know, I don't know how to. She says she's wearing a ball gown. She looks very nice. She says that she figured out that Ollie wasn't her guy. She had nice things to say about him. She then pulled Catherine up on something that she said about how she felt that Ollie would not like Demi. Then Ollie cut her off and was like, I would like to say something. People keep trying to say that I like white girls, I like mixed race girls. Yeah. Which, okay, congratulations. Yeah. And then they asked him if he was dating anyone. He said, would you meet and then eventually said that he and Charlotte had started speaking a couple of weeks ago.
Well, apparently they've been started speaking around December.
Well, the story don't make no fucking sense.
It doesn't.
He said that she reached out to him because of the show airing, so how have they been speaking since December then?
That doesn't make any sense.
Anyway, they pull this Charlotte girl out now, asking her what's going on here. She's like, yeah, you know, we've been speaking, being vague as hell. It's become clear it's kind of a situationship because she's like, oh, watch this space.
For what, boo?
What? She also says, I couldn't have got through the last few weeks without him. What? Wait.
What pain and trauma have you experienced?
The pain and trauma of not being on the show.
Of not being on the show, and when you did turn up on the show, everyone said you were hot.
Yeah, that was really hard for her. Apparently she said to Ollie when at the party, I would be open to talking to you again.
Did she?
And he was like, oh well, I'm with Demi. That's what he.
Wow.
That's what has been said. So maybe she was the pain and anguish that she's been going through the past few weeks is I don't want people to see me begging for man.
Yeah, maybe, but no one saw it.
But yes, literally no one saw it.
So apparently, in the pods, Ollie was dating not just Kat and Demi, but he also was dating Charlotte. But he broke it up with Charlotte first, and then as soon as he broke up with her, she left.
Yes.
And then the conversations with
So how come she got to come to the party?
Because she's still part of the pod squad.
But you left the show. Yeah,
but she was. I think that she went. They invited her because she was still part. Oh yeah, why did she come on?
Yeah,
that's true. Because she wanted the door open to be like.
Yeah, but do you remember, before you use people will just have to look people up on Instagram.
That's true. But
this is not a dating show for people who just happen to have been associated with the show.
But the pod squads has started to come more over the last couple of seasons in America. And I would say this, look, to be perfectly honest, you have been dating someone for what, a week? I'm not imagining it's going to be the full 10 days. You were dating someone for a week. You built a really strong connection with them. If they told you and you never saw them and then there's a party and a mixer where you actually have the opportunity to see them and you won't go.
We will see each other, but why are you even inviting her? She's left the show, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but no,
as production, why would we invite you?
But same thing with Tash. When Tom broke up with her, she left the show. She did.
I don't understand what that. As in, like,
when I say left the show, I mean she left the pods. And she was like, "I'm done filming."
Yeah, I don't think you should be allowed to come to the party. Then.
So Tash and Finn.
Yeah, I don't think you should be allowed to come to the party.
But really, technically, that's why that's what I thought usually happened on the show.
I thought just we didn't see you anymore, but it's not that you just got to be like, pack up my bags, I'm leaving, I'm not going to film anymore, because you're supposed to be dating other people, right, as well. So you're telling me that they were only dating one person, so when that one person said no, they left?
I'll be honest, I think it gets to a stage, especially the latter stage of the pods, where it gets to a stage where everyone is dating their potential 1 or 2 picks. So even if you got dumped tomorrow, there's no one else that you can date because
I would just be chilling.
Yeah,
what am I going home for?
There was a whole bunch of girls who were chilling because I was thinking either they are speaking to someone or they are literally just relaxing in this space.
Yeah, unless you were so in love, and honestly, you can't have been that in love if he didn't pick you.
True.
So in love with him that you can't even bear the idea of being in the their common room and hearing Demi being like, "We're gonna be together," and that's why you're like, "I have to go. I actually can't be here. I have to go." I don't get why you would quit the whole experiment over one man.
Yeah, I don't know, but I also felt that she probably only had the connection with him. So
why?
I don't know. It's sweet to her.
I would like to know.
She's so hot. She should have had multiple guys.
Yeah, well, they couldn't see her.
Yeah, true.
But she's incredibly boring. And to be fair, she sounded
There's only one clip of her, and it's her talking about how she likes morning breath. That's what I remember from her. Yeah.
So then, this is like nothing else to talk about. So then we've got Jasmine and Bobby.
Yes, they are
still
happy.
together.
Still happy.
Jasmine's mum and Bobby get on.
Yeah, I loved when he said as soon as they finished and wrapped up, because I think he was living outside London, and Jasmine was living in London. I think a few days after the marriage, after the wedding, he moved over to London and stayed together, and they were together. And again, really contrasting that with Stephen and Sabrina, it was like, yes, it makes sense. I know it's not like Belfast to London; it's like a completely like a longer distance, but when it's know,
like less than an hour on the plane. By the way,
yeah, it's true. But when you know that you're in a relationship and this is a committed relationship and you want to make this work, you have to be in the same page. You have to be on the same page and on the same roof, ideally. So yeah, it was nice to hear him say that. And then they did a montage of them.
Yeah.
In their first year of marriage, and it's very cute.
Yes, and then we have...
They're trying for babies.
Yes.
Just to let everyone know.
Okay. Then we have Nicole and Benaya.
Yeah.
And I had seen something on TikTok the night before that said that they weren't together anymore, so I was literally shaking. And then I saw them sat next to each other holding hands. I was like, this still could be a goof on me. And then they asked them how they've been, and then they were like, we've just had the best year. And I was like, thank God. I don't think I've ever prayed for anybody else in my life as much as I prayed for Nicole.
The woo-woo girl survived.
Literally, rise up, woo-woo girls. You did your big one with this one. Yeah, they've had a good year. Yeah.
They're adorable.
They just remain such cuties.
I loved it when they introduced Benaya and Nicole.
Well, she calls him Ben.
Yeah, she does call him Ben, doesn't she? Yeah. And he's like, before we start, I just want to see how beautiful Nicole is. I think it goes especially at eyes, but it's just the fact that he validates her so much, and he's not afraid to do it, and he really empowers her and pushes her up. I loved it. It was really sweet. It really was.
I loved all of their clips. Yes. The one in the pods went on for a bit too long.
Yeah, so Matt and Emma showed the reactions that Benaya and Nicole had after their first date, and it was adorable.
Literally, they're never gonna beat those woo allegations because literally first meet and then they're both like, oh my God, I'm buzzing, I'm actually shaking, I can't believe it. Nicole is jumping up and down and dancing it feels like you're in a cartoon.
I really do.
It feels like you're in a cartoon fever dream.
Perfectly honest, if you met the love of your life, first date, you're like, oh my gosh.
I would never do that.
You
that's the difference. Jumping up and down.
This is where the woo-woo comes in. I would be in the comfort of my own home.
No,
jumping up and down.
You actually do give jumping up and down. You think you're in Sex and the City. That's why you be doing that. I would never jump up and down for a man ever in my life. No, the love of my life will know that about me, and he would not accept.
So what would you do? You would be like, go clap.
I wouldn't clap.
So what would you do? What would you do once you've met? You go on a date with the love of your life. What would you do? First date.
I'd be like, I would just be like, this was fun.
Marnie, we need to get you into a woo-woo season. We need to woo-woo you up.
I'd be like, this was fun, and then he'd be like, I'm gonna marry you, and I'd be like, LOL. Then I would leave, and then I would text you guys and be like, LOL. I actually think I just met my husband. LOL. Then I'll go to sleep. I'm not the kind of person who'd be like, I'm buzzing. I'm literally
No, I think
vibrating.
No,
with
okay.
excitement.
I mean, I think I'm. Okay, maybe I shouldn't exaggerate.
I
think I'm on the woo woo scale. I think I am like in between Nicole and you, like that little nice sweet spot of potentially a bit more woo woo, but realistic with my feet on the ground.
I think I wouldn't be
with a few jumps.
I'm not doing the jump up and down, but I might be like the date ended up lasting like 8 hours because we didn't. We lost track of time.
Yeah,
we went on an adventure. I met his mum. It just went zero
just on and on and on. It was like, oh my gosh,
what a registry office! Like, what's happening?
It was like seasons were changing.
This is crazy. I want to get off the ride,
but I just can't because now I have found the love of my life.
I love this. I love that we're doing this together. Yeah,
I think
somebody needs to do like an intro to woo woo like course so we can have a go just learning to be a little bit more woo.
Intro to woo woo, how to be a bit more delulu.
Literally, just like I need some help because I would love to just be 0 to 100, but I feel like the best I could do is 0 to 65. I need to maintain that 35 of common sense.
Yeah, I just think I still want to keep an ounce of the common sense because
but you're 0 to 95.
No, 0 to 80. There's the 20 because there's a little bit of cynicism.
Good girl.
Thank God that I will have until I go full 80 to 100. It's gonna be a full on stretch.
I actually think
it's like on my wedding day. I'm like, oh my gosh, woo woo
to the max. We're getting on the mic, be like, guys, I just want to say a few words about. Sorry, I'm crying.
Yeah,
I want to say a few words about him. He's like, I can't breathe.
That's when you know I'm in full woo-woo mode.
That would never be me.
That would maybe me.
I feel like Max actually, even if I went to the course, Max woo-woo is 90.
Wow.
I could never be 100 woo-woo. I could never be 100 woo-woo. I would not recognise myself. I'd have to change all my clothes in my wardrobe.
If your wedding day, hem sandals, hem basket,
puka necklace, a puka shell necklace, I'd just be a different person.
Basically wearing everything that Vic Lively did, and it ends with us.
Just be like, I am full. I'm just full. Yeah, quit my job, work in a flower shop. Like, what's going on? Who are you?
I'm in love. I'm a woo woo girl.
Love is crazy.
I mean,
do you know what's so funny? Like this will now exist, and in the future, when this happens, we'll be able to actually know whether we went from 0 to 100.
Yeah, we would.
And who was actually bluffing about their number? Because you're saying 85.
No, I said 80. I said 80. I think my woo-woo, my limit. No, I will definitely get to the 100, but it will take me a long time to get to the 100. But my initial will be 0 to 80. Then the 80 to 100 is gonna be that real like he's gonna have to work really hard for me to go from 80 to 100.
I just genuinely cannot imagine myself being like, I love this man so much.
I would love to love that.
Okay.
I would love to be in that space where, yes, you really wholeheartedly trust this guy.
I think I would feel the feeling. I just don't think I would be that kind of person like shouting it from the rooftops. I think the most, literally the most romantic I'm going to get is when I do my vows. And then you will not be hearing the word out of me. Till your eulogy, my love.
No, I think I will contain my woo-woo behind closed doors.
No, I think you'd be wooing it up. The room would stink of woo.
No, I think I'll give you like small instances of my woo.
Shoshana really smells like
woo. I will give you small instances of those woo-woo, but you really have to put it out of me. But behind closed doors, I am woo.
No, I feel like in our group of friends, if we were like, tell us about, like, if you were at the point of you guys were getting married, at your bachelor night, when your bachelorette night, when you've had a few drinks, and you'll just be like crying, talking about your partner, how excited you are to get, for free. No one would even have to prompt you. We've been serving you non-alcoholic drink all day. You're not even drunk. You just wanted to use that as an excuse to be like, no, but guys, have you seen his hands? Like, his hands are so like, you guys don't even understand. We're talking about Poppy.
I'll be honest.
He's just the kindest. Like when he holds me, I feel held. I feel just like
honestly, you could be talking about a puppy, or you could be talking about
a blanket of like a wave of love. Just like as soon as he comes into the room, and he goes, because that is how I would talk about my puppy.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. If I had a puppy,
I'd be like, I love this.
Honestly, dog. Yeah, it would be.
I would die for this.
It would. I would have more. I would have woo woo moments. I think. I hate that some of that sounds like something I could.
It's not good. I've known you for 20 plus.
I've never shown you my woo woo.
I've known you for 20 plus.
Yeah,
years.
but I don't think I've ever shown you my woo woo.
I just know that you're capable of it. I know that you're capable of it. I know when people are capable of woo woo. I know when people are capable of woo woo.
Because I'm a lover girl, but doesn't mean that I'm delulu.
But you're on your way from, you're on the journey from delulu. You're on your way from, your journey, right now you're neutral. You're on the journey to delulu, and then from delulu to woo woo. That is the journey that you're on.
No, I think, do you know what? I think
from zero to delulu.
No, because I'm a bit more older and wiser. Oh no, because I'm a bit more older and wiser. Like it will take me a bit more time to get to.
Yeah, but
I think, but in my
journey
my
is
mind,
still completely to woo woo. That's a journey.
Yeah, of course it would be. Yeah. I'll take that. It will take me a bit more time because my level of delulu is not there. It's not there like it was 20 years ago. I am very much hyper aware.
Listen.
Let's wait and see.
I can't wait.
I don't want to talk too soon because I could become very woo woo. But I will hide it as much as I can.
Listen out for it.
Until one day.
Listen.
You would say one trigger word and it's going to unlock.
Keep an eye on it, listeners. If you start hearing Shoshana talking about someone special, the next thing you know, she spent 20 minutes of the podcast talking about eyelashes, and their eyelashes are so funny because the other day he was blinking and you had to be that like, he's so funny.
No.
Do you remember when we were in the car?
Yeah.
Do you remember in the car? We were in the car with a friend after her birthday. She was talking about the guy that she was seeing. And every other sentence was, oh, blah, blah, blah also does, like, he loves music. Like, he just loves, like, the other day I thought that he really liked house music and I was worried, but then it turns out he likes all kinds of music.
Oh, yeah. I'll still ask you if any of our girly friends had a woo-woo, sorry. Has any of our friends got delulu and has any of our friends got woo-woo tendencies?
I think Jessa's husband is woo down.
Oh yeah, for her.
Yeah, he's woo down for her.
Yeah, we love that.
I think she is a low key woo for him.
Yeah.
Like
I think
she's quite careful about about being decent about her woo-woo-ness, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
she doesn't want to reveal all her woo-woo, but if you ask her, the woo-woo's gonna come blur out of her mouth.
Yeah.
I think our other friend actually is just delulu. I think she's 100 delulu. She's not woo-woo because I don't think she's been given the space to be woo-woo yet.
I agree
but I
with
do
that.
think she is 200% delulu. Interestingly, I don't know where. Yeah.
Because our friends.
She's not woo-woo.
She's not woo-woo.
Is she delulu? I don't think she's delulu.
No, because
I think she's like me. She's like, I'm at 50.
Yeah, she's like you. Because, perfectly honest, has she made some of the decisions that she has made sooner, she would have been delulu.
Yes, yeah.
Actually,
but then, like, she has made a very big life decision
that could be seen as
that's kind of delulu. But or is that woo woo? Actually, to be like, I love this man. I'm about to uproot my life. But but weirdly a very logical woo woo. What's logical?
I would love to be a logical woo woo.
You're not logical.
Yes, because you can be actually.
We should find out what the word is for logical woo woo.
Yeah, we'll find Lululemon.
I feel like, or maybe it's just romance. I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
She's
realistic.
She's very pragmatic.
Yeah.
In the way that she sees her woo woo, she's a pragmatic woo woo.
Okay, I don't think she's woo woo.
I don't think she's woo woo. I think she's neutral. I think she's 50%. She's not delulu.
Yeah, I don't think
she's Ruru. She's very realistic.
Yeah, she is very realistic. I'm going with Ruru.
Yeah.
She's Ruru.
Where would you put you? In between Ruru and delulu.
Yeah, I would like to be more delulu.
But you're a bit more Ruru.
I think I'm a bit more Ruru. I think that, yeah, I would, whenever I watch my friends go through that stage of being like, you'll be talking to them like, oh, what should we order? Like, pepperoni pizza. Oh my God, do you know who loves pepperoni pizza?
You would never do that.
I just don't think that would ever be me. But I can imagine myself being
thinking
like...
that. But not saying it.
And like texting them like, I'm having a pepperoni pizza. And I thought of you.
I took a quick snap. Yeah, it's just because I'm taking a photo.
Yeah, I just love pizza. You've been on your phone. I know, I wouldn't even do that because even that is too obvious that you like someone when you're on your phone all the time.
Yeah. That's how I found out about one person that you were texting.
Excuse me.
Yeah, or one person you were interested in.
Pass.
It wasn't a pass. Like, I found it out. Again, as I said, I'm also very mindful.
That was me. That time, I would have liked to be on the road. I would have said I could have been on the road. I was on the road to delulu. But I did not quite make it to delulu. No. And so I think that's my pipeline. Like, I have to go from 0 to delulu. And then from delulu back to Ruru, then to woo 10% woo, and that's it. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I think my long journey will be being delulu. Like, because I think going back to what we were saying, to be delulu is to have a complete like faith that this will work out, and therefore you can like give yourself to that person, right? You don't feel embarrassed when you're like, oh my God, he's so funny. He says sword instead of sword, like. And to say that straight face to your friend and genuinely for your friend's going to find that entertaining, you have to be so far gone. Yeah. And I would love to...
I'd love to have
feel safe enough and trust that person enough to be like, do you know what, fuck it.
But
he gave me these socks. And then he said, when he gave them to me, he said, hey man, because you always forget your socks.
Oh, and I said, my gosh.
Okay, leave me alone. You're so annoying. Like, he's so annoying.
I just can't imagine you being like that kind of person.
I'm not like that.
But I feel like a couple of drinks in, I'll get you closer to Delulu than
No, I think I'll find what my thing is, but I don't think it's that. I think it would just be like...
It's like a really nice middle ground between Ruru and Delulu.
Yeah. I'll be like, well, I'm going to go now, guys. It's been really nice seeing you, but I want to go see my partner.
Yeah, I feel like you're very like...
Bye.
Maybe you are more Ruru, like our friend. I would say that I am. In my head, I really want to be Ruru. I definitely don't want to be Delulu.
Why not?
Because there's always gonna be something in the back of my mind that is gonna try and get back to that Ruru. Like,
but it's not. If you actually give yourself 100% to Delulu,
that's why I feel like. That's why I feel like I
would
would just go from Ruru, jump over to Delulu, and just become Ruru. So the Delulu part would just annoy me because I feel like I can be Delulu in my head, but I can't open my mouth and be Delulu.
But I feel like
won't let my mouth.
It's because you're not in it now. The thing about being Delulu is that you're in it 100%.
I'm so
all
blinded.
the people that you know who will say the wildest things to you believe that 100%.
I know.
People will be like, yeah, I can sing. I actually could have been a famous singer, but like basically what happened is I fell down at the park once and then but like Oprah Winfrey,
okay. So that's to be perfectly honest, is where I am. I am in for a lot of the part. I will be Ruru. In my mind, behind closed doors, I will be Delulu.
Oh, so in your mind, you'll be telling yourself the stories of he's actually so.
and then I will allow myself to be Ruru in front of people. No, sorry, I think that I won't be that, but behind closed doors.
Do you think you'll be doing up smooching in front of your friends?
No.
You will no. The thing is, if you get to Woo, you'll be, because Benaya and Nicole are always almost 1 second away from kissing each other.
Really?
They're always this. They've got their faces are always this close to each other.
It's because like she's so small.
I know. So I didn't know how their faces are that close to each other.
No. But I'm going to look for a photo of them. But I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. I don't mind PDA. Like, I've never had a problem with PDA. So, but I just don't feel. I feel like there's a time and a space and a place. I just don't know.
And the place is a space. And
the space it doesn't really feel like it should be with my in front of my friends. So,
I like a good cuddle.
Yeah, but it's not in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
It's not really about you though, is it?
No. Actually, do you know what?
No.
If you cuddled him in front of me, I know you're in delulu.
I'm in delulu.
Yeah, you're definitely in delulu.
No, I'm in practical.
Yeah.
This is pragmatic. I'm cold. Bay is here. Why am I going to stand here shivering when I can get cuddles?
No.
I would never do this. Cuddles, but I would.
Yeah, okay. If you actually did that, I'd be like, yeah, my friend's gone.
Yeah.
So gone.
Put me in jail. Yeah, it's done. For me.
Yeah.
If you see me outside saying, cuddles.
But be honest, if you say, and if we were having a conversation and all of a sudden you're like, well, he said, I said, did he say?
That's not delulu. He did say that.
But you brought him in every single part of the conversation.
Because he is in every single part of the conversation. He's my man who lives with me.
What you would say is, someone told me.
Who someone told me?
Someone told me that this was the
thing. Yeah, I heard something.
I heard someone said this.
I went to I'm posting pictures of myself doing all these things all of a sudden on Instagram. Who do you do that with?
That's how I found out. Yeah. But yeah, I think...
I thought I told you I went to France.
Yeah.
You never actually told me. Who did you go with?
Ironically.
By myself. And my friend.
The most important thing is that we should all, at some point, try to be as close to be woo-woo girls as we can.
Because that's the moral of the story.
And also, most importantly, find someone who's on the same or equal level, or even more woo-woo than you.
100%.
Actually, if anything, he should be more than you. More woo-woo.
They bring that rat bastard Sam out. I don't know why. As soon as I said they were getting him out, I was like, you guys think that this is going to eat and it's not.
No. So basically, there have been some rumours on TikTok that Kat may be seeing Sam. So I was like...
Catherine had said she was seeing somebody from the show.
So, and because of that episode where they had the mixer and Kat was very badly flirting with Sam. And so I was like, okay, they're going to bring him in, so just stir the pot. But yeah.
No. They brought him back and he was like, I've had a really hard time. People have been mean to me on the internet.
Bring out those violins.
Literally. Do you know what's so funny is I do not agree that people should be like harassing someone online. I don't think that's fair. That being said, I don't like you. No, I don't like you. I think you're bad vibes. So ultimately, even though I do agree with what you're saying, which is people should not be harassing you on the internet, I do low-key think you deserve it. So, what now?
Yeah, what now? Like, why should we care? Like, and even when he was talking the exact same way he was doing in the pods, which made me think, well, this is just
He's rehearsed this as well.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's what I thought. He's rehearsed this because he's worried he's going to come out here and get in trouble again. So he's rehearsed a little speech he wants to make. But
it doesn't make any acknowledgement for Nicole.
No acknowledgement of Nicole or
Benaya.
Or anything that you might have done to make people feel uncomfortable. This was actually your moment to be like, I would like to clear up some things. I understand people found me disingenuous. When I was saying that stuff in the pods, there's no way to clean it up other than I wanted to be picked because I wanted to go on the show and be famous.
Yeah, that's all you could have said. Or I'm sorry for what I did, and I truly hope and wish the best for you, Nicole and Benaya. I'm so happy you found each other, and I'm sorry for...
No, he wanted everyone to be sad because he's had a hard time. But also, you're not the only person facing backlash from the show. Like, yeah, you're getting the most of it because you're the biggest weirdo.
Yeah.
But you did do the stuff that you did.
Yeah, come on. So, it's not produced. Like, this is... You literally went there, opened your mouth and said certain things. You said boring black. You said boring brown, all that stuff. So... For me, it got to the point where Demi had to shout at him and just say, Sam...
Just say sorry.
Yeah, just say sorry to Nicole.
Which he was not going to do.
No, he wasn't. Even his apology, I was like...
The stuttering, the stammering.
Yeah, come on.
Girl.
Bye. And then they say, thank you, Sam. And I do have to rate Matt. And, Matt, in this moment, even though he was getting on my nerves when he kept on calling him mate, but he did put him up and say, why did you ask? Like, what on earth possessed you to ask to tell Benaya that Nicole wanted to sleep with him? Because honestly, he knew what he was doing.
Of course.
So,
but we all knew that when he said. That's why that whole disingenuous thing of I wanted to be friends with Benaya. I wanted to be friends with Benaya because he'd seen it in his head. Oh, the storyline I'm gonna have now is I'm gonna turn up and I'm gonna drop the biggest bomb by telling him that Nicole tried to sleep with me.
Yeah.
And then when he got there and Sam was already mad at him, he was like, well, I don't get how I'm going to play this now other than saying it in a spiteful way.
Yeah.
But either way, he was coming to say it in a spiteful way.
Yeah, so for me, like...
He didn't have the reaction you was hoping it was going to get.
And to me, like, there was absolutely no redemption arc for Sam. If anything, even him coming on the show, I looked at him, I was like, you're so annoying. Like,
pathetic.
You look as you talk. Like, literally, absolutely, I don't know, arse like is best to describe.
Yeah, he genuinely is a rat bastard.
And then he just, like, scurried along back to his seat. And then that was pretty much how the reunion wrapped. Oh, wait, Kat and Freddie had a chat as well. But it's just like...
Again, then there was Kat and Freddie had a chat, which is kind of boring. And a conversation where Jasmine and Demi sort of got at her about the statement that she'd made about how she felt that Ollie wouldn't like Demi, but we talked about that earlier.
I mean, I felt at that point when Demi and Jasmine was coming for her, like, I felt sorry for... Oh, no, sorry, I didn't feel sorry for Kat. I was like, yeah, she knew what she was probably doing, but then towards the end, I was like, we need to just lay off Kat. Like, she's not the villain. If anyone, Sam is the villain. Kat wasn't portrayed in the best light because she wasn't always the nicest person. I just don't like seeing the girls fight over each other over these men.
Yeah, and like, if we're being completely honest, again, the people in the comments saying that was disgusting behaviour, the same people that do the exact same thing.
Exactly, like, come on.
We as women are socialised to be to see each other as competition. So, of course, once in a while, unless you've done the work, someone's going to slip out where you're being catty because you're being catty because you and me are quite literally competing for the same man. Why it's very hard to be the kind of woman who's like, I still love and respect you, and I actually hope that you win. Yeah,
because even when Debbie was like, me and Kat are friends, but like, that's my man. Like, yeah, stop saying like you weren't like competing, you were competing.
When I want something, I get it. Okay, cool. So that's the game that we're playing.
Yeah. So anyway,
war's fair and love of war, as they say.
I mean, Freddie was very quiet during this reunion. There wasn't much for him. I mean, they asked the sister. The sister said that she doesn't regret her decision. Kat and Freddie both agree that it was right. They said no at the altar. They do have different lifestyles, and we find out that Kat is seeing someone, which wasn't talked about on the reunion.
No, she's been with him for a while.
For a long time, they've moved in together. You can tell they have very similar lifestyles. They're both based in London. His name is Jake. But
he moved to Jersey.
Oh,
she lives in Jersey. She doesn't live in London.
Sorry, I thought
he actually came to Jersey.
That was the whole problem. Yeah, but you can tell that they have very similar lifestyles. And even though Jake wasn't filmed or featured in the show, so I think that's why they didn't really bring it up. But I wish they had, because it would have just given a bit more oomph to the whole thing and a bit more hope, apart from like our great happy stories with Jasmine and Bobby and Benaya and Nicole. But yeah, that was the end of the reunion in a sense. Kind of wrapped up. And
what would you give this series?
I enjoyed the series. As I said, like, I love that this series was in our backyard in a sense. In our backyard. Perfectly honest, I also love the couples that are together are predominantly people of colour. Come on, let's rate that.
Predominantly because of you can't wait, and they're all people
black. I mean, Benai, you're welcome to the cookout. So they're all black. No, but it's all nice. It's just really nice to see that, and to also see like a dark-skinned woman win as well, like and find her love story. That was also really great to see. I'll be perfectly honest, the drama was lacking in comparison to what we've now been accustomed to through the many series of Love is Blind. And if I go back to the purest series 1, this is what Love is Blind UK reminds me of.
Was season 1 of Love is Blind as short a period of time?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I also wonder if that's why it's lacking drama, because I actually think the living together felt longer in season 1 of Love is Blind. Like, with Jess and that guy, like, it felt like I think it felt like what was making that situation even more tense was like more time was passing and they weren't getting any closer to each other.
True. But I thought it was a similar period. Usually it is, yeah. But one thing I do really like about this season for the UK is that they are older. And I felt like the conversations they had in the pods, out of the pods, the obstacles that they were facing as a couple or as couples felt more realistic. It felt like grown issues that couples will face, and so it felt a bit more relatable in comparison to like, I don't find you attractive like that. Like, as much as they tried to make that a storyline for Ollie and Demi, it just didn't work in comparison to some of the other seasons where you get Giannani, I always get her name wrong. Giannina, always Giannina and Damon, or whatever, going Damon, her going like, when we have sex, I don't really enjoy it. Like, you don't really get that as much, and I just love that we were able to talk about things like, what's it called, about like finances and where we live and children and lifestyles, and being able to talk about things that actual couples face, even if you didn't see each other sight unseen or fell in love sight unseen. So anyway, all that to say, I would give this a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 3.
Wow.
I think... I just think the latter half of the series felt very starved of drama.
Yeah.
I think that's why they ended up having so many of those like, oh, pod squad are here, pod squad are here type parties, because they were like, this will cause drama, but just didn't cause as much drama as they were anticipating.
Is it because of the cultural thing? Like,
we're not
drama.
We're
the home of Love Island, for goodness sake.
I know, but Love Island famously is drunk 21-year-olds. This is people in their 30s. I'm not trying to fight or brawl over a man.
True. Yeah.
How dare you come onto this podcast and do that?
Sorry, the water went down the wrong hole. It's still in the wrong hole.
No, figure it out.
Yeah, go on.
So yeah, I just think when you're in your 30s, you're not...
How dare you come on the pod and yawn?
Sorry. How dare you come on the podcast and yawn, Shoshana? How dare you come on the podcast and yawn, Imani? When you're in your 30s, I don't think you're coming out here doing Bravo-esque fights unless you're a real housewife of somewhere. Or you're on Love and Hip Hop. Most people don't do that. I don't think there was any situation that I saw in that series that would have, if I was in it, would have made me lose my head. Yeah. Actually, I would have done the exact opposite, because again, why am I screaming and throwing a hissy fit? If he wants to be with me, he'll be with me. If he doesn't, he won't. True. Like,
why am I stressing?
Yeah, even Sam, you're not even worth me losing my head, because I think you're mentally ill.
Yeah.
You need help. I don't think that, like, my shout at you is not going to teach you anything. You have this dead-eyed stare that screams, I don't know. Yeah. He's not in the room with us.
No, he's not. He's not.
Yeah. I think all the best. All
the best to them. I think if Freddie isn't wifed up very soon, I may see him on Perfect Match. That's my prediction.
Oh, okay.
That's my prediction. So it's either him or Ollie. Oh, Sam. Sam. Sorry, Sam.
They're gonna get Sam.
Yeah. Why on earth would they pick Freddie? It'll be Sam.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Freddie on other future not dating shows.
Reality TV.
Like... Do that, rinse out the reality TV. Yeah. He's not Joey Essex.
I think they get. Oh.
No shade, but real shade. No shade.
Of course it was shade about
shade.
No shade.
Shade. Yeah.
I don't think it's something that he would be like, put me on.
But I think people would want him.
They would have to make him some pretty good offers, and eventually.
I mean, you can't really get a show about female directing, so
maybe he can be on The Traitors.
Ooh, Celebrity Traitors, because they are doing celebrity. BBC announced there will be Celebrity Traitors, so I can't wait to see him in the reality scene, even in the Netflix reality world. I can imagine.
Wait to see him in any scene, just outside,
bruh. Okay, cool.
Yes, so that was Love Is Blind UK. Oh my god, Selling Sunset's back.
Crap, Selling Sunset is back.
Let's see Selling Sunset.
Yes, do that, and then we can talk about our trip to the cinema.
Yes.
To watch It Ends With Us.
So that you don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah. So you definitely don't have to. But anyway, we're gonna love you, UK. We're gonna love you like we do in the UK. Oh, sorry.
How do you love people in the UK?
Without showing much love. We are going to say a woo-woo goodbye. And from this woo-woo, and this Ruru. This has been Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Marnie.
Bye.
Bye.
I want to know my quiet stuff. I know how to end.